Good morning, students. Welcome to the online session. Today in Science 2, we are going to learn lesson number 4, Environmental Management. And the subtopics to be covered are Ecosystem Review, Environment and Ecosystem, Environmental Conservation, Environmental Management, and Biodiversity Hotspot. Students, let us recall ecosystem. What is it? The interactions between biotic and abiotic components make an ecosystem. Now there are two main components of ecosystem, children. One is biotic component, which include all types of living things, that is plants, animal, fungi, bacteria, etc. Whereas abiotic component, which include air, water, wind, soil, temperature, rainfall, etc. Now, children, this biotic component is further categorized as producers, consumers, and decomposers. All the plants comes under the category of producers because they provide food for the other organisms or other living things, whereas decomposers are the microorganisms which carry out the decomposition of dead plants and animals, and the consumers are further categorized into three categories, that is primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. These primary consumers, for example, primary consumers are grasshopper, squirrel, elephant. These primary consumers directly are dependent upon the producers. Followed. Now, secondary consumers, examples are frog, owl, fox. Now, these are dependent on the herbivores, whereas tertiary consumers, the example are tiger, lion, cheetah, etc. Now, these are dependent upon the herbivores and the carnivorous, and no other animal can feed on the tertiary consumers. Followed, children? Students, let us recall about food chain, food web, and energy pyramid. What is food chain? Children, when you observe the picture of food chain, you will see that plants are eaten up by grasshopper, grasshopper is eaten up by frog, frog is eaten up by a snake, and snake is eaten up by a hog. And children, after the death of all the consumers, decomposers act upon these consumers and convert the dead bodies into substances which are easily mixed with air, water, and soil, from where they are absorbed by the plants. And once again, the food chain continues. So you can see that, children, there's interactions which is continuously happening between the producers, consumers, and the decomposers. So there is a definite sequence in these interactions which is called as a food chain. Okay. Now, what is a food web, children? Now, when you observe the diagram or the picture of food web, you'll see that there are many food chains. That is, for example, plants are eaten up by goat. Goat is eaten up by a lion. Is the first food chain. Then again, green plants are eaten up by goat. Goat is eaten up by a jackal, and jackal is eaten up by a lion. This is second chain, food chain. Then again, green plants are eaten up by a rabbit. Rabbit is eaten up by a jackal, and jackal is eaten up by a lion. It's a third food chain. Then green plants is eaten up by a rabbit. Rabbit is eaten up by a wild cat, and wild cat is eaten up by a lion. So in this way, children, if you see clearly, there are more than one food chains which are interconnected with each other. So an ecosystem which consists of many food chains that are interconnected at various levels, okay, a food web is formed, or in short, you can say as many interconnected food chains make up a food web. Followed. Now, what is a energy pyramid? Now, children, an energy pyramid is a model that shows the flow of energy from one trophic level to the next in an ecosystem. Now, you can see that here on the diagram, the producers, they form the first trophic level. Okay, primary herbivores forms the second trophic level, that is the primary consumers. Then carnivorous forms the second consumers or the third trophic level. Then the omnivorous, they are the tertiary consumers, they form the fourth trophic level. Got it, children? Now students, let's learn ecosystem a review. As just now we have learned that an ecosystem is formed by the biotic and abiotic factors and their interactions with each other, right? Now children, here is a picture of a pond ecosystem. Okay. Now what are the things you can see over here? Yes, you can see in the picture that sunlight, water, mountain, plants, animals, birds, fishes and bacteria. Right children? So children, that means here in the picture in the pond ecosystem you can find both biotic factors as well as abiotic factors. Understood? So here each factor plays an important role. That means without the presence of children, for example, I am telling you, without the presence of sunlight and water, plants cannot prepare their food, right? And if there is no plants, means animals cannot survive, okay? And children, if there is no water in the pond, what would happen, children? The fishes or the microorganisms in the water cannot survive. Okay, so what does this shows, children? This shows that each factors, that is both abiotic and biotic factors, are equally dependent on each other for their survival. Okay. Now children, as we have studied that plants are feed by the plants provide food for the herbivores, that is for example deer, goat and all, and these herbivores are eaten up by the predators like lion, tiger, right? Now children, you know that plants, that is producers, are very much important. Why they are important, children? Because they provide food for the herbivores, right children? And the predators, that is the lion and tiger, what they do, children? They prevent the overpopulation of the herbivores. Okay children, what they do? They prevent the overpopulation of the herbivores. So students, you have studied that these plant producers, herbivores and predators are an important part of a food chain. Okay, but have you ever thought about the insects like caterpillar, termites, the fly like black soldier fly, children? Yes, though these creatures or the organisms, they present in the dirty and filthy places, children, but they are really useful to us. How? Yes, they are responsible for cleaning the environment, children. Followed. So children, hence our existence in the environment is due to these factors present around us, children. So it is our duty to take care of these factors. Followed. Now students, have you ever thought that if fallen foliage forest, which means dead leaves on the forest floor, dead trees and carcasses means the dead bodies of an animal in and around the village had not been decomposed for a year, what would happen? Have you ever thought this, children? Okay, as we have studied that only by the process of decomposition the dead plants and animals are sent back to the nature. How? That is, I have discussed earlier that when the dead plants and animals dies, what happens, children? The decomposers act upon them and they carry out the decomposition and they convert the dead bodies into substances which are easily mixed with the soil and water, and from where again they are used up by the plants. So if this decomposition process stops for a year, what will happen, children? The entire earth will be covered by the heaps of garbage, and not only this, the balance in the nature would be completely lost. Is that clear, children? Students, just think that a bird building nest on a tree feed upon the fishes from the nearby pond. Whether this bird is a part of both the tree as well as pond ecosystem, what would be your answer, children? Yes. Children, you can see that the bird is a part of both the ecosystem, right? How? You must be thinking how it is a part of both the ecosystem. Children, for its survival, that is for its shelter, the bird takes the advantage of the trees, that is by building the nest it is living there, and for its food it is totally depend upon the pond, that is by eating the fishes. Okay, and not only this children, this bird maintains the fish population of the pond, and hence we can say that it is a part of both the pond as well as tree ecosystem. Is that clear children? Students, paddy is cultivated on a large scale in various states of South India. Paddy means it is a rice crop children. Followed? And these paddy fields are frequently attacked by the grasshoppers. And frogs are also present in the large number in the mud of a paddy field. Why? To feed upon the grasshoppers. And snakes are also present in the field. Why children? Snakes are present in the field to feed upon the favorite food, frog. Now when you observe the picture, you can see that the paddy field provide food for the grasshopper, and grasshopper is being eaten up by the frog, and frog is eaten up by a snake. So we can say that children, in the paddy field ecosystem, this paddy crop are the producers, and the grasshopper are the primary consumers, and frogs are the secondary consumers, and snakes are the tertiary consumer children. So in this among these producers and consumer children, when the number of frogs decline all of a sudden, what would happen? 3 questions have been asked there. That is, what will be the effect on paddy crop? Number 2 is what number of which consumers will decline and which will increase? And third number is what will be the overall effect on the ecosystem? So children, you can just think that if the number of frogs decline all of a sudden, that means if no frogs are there, what will happen? The number of grasshoppers will increase. Okay, right? If the number of grasshoppers increase means what will happen? They are going to spoil the paddy crops, right? And if frogs are not there, that means there will be no food for the snakes. So the snakes are also cannot survive. That means snakes will die away. So if snakes are not there, what will happen? The number of pests will be increasing. Okay, so totally what will happen to the paddy field? So the paddy field will be infested by the insects and the pest. Okay, and not only this children, even the population of frogs are declined completely, there would be complete imbalance in the entire paddy field ecosystem. And since the number of prey and the predator population are changing continuously children, then the food chain will come to an end. Okay, understood? Now students, let's learn relationship between environment and ecosystem. Suppose a living organism is being surrounded by a physical, chemical and biological factors. Now very obviously children, these factors affects the life of a living organism. So this condition is called as environment. In short, we can say as environment is a condition in the surrounding, and we can define this as the physical, chemical, biological factors affecting the living organism is called as environment. Students, environment consists of 2 types. That means there are 2 types of environment. One is the natural environment, which includes air, water, land, atmosphere, living organisms. Now children, if you observe the natural environment, the examples of natural environment, you can see that natural environment includes both biotic and abiotic factors. Okay. This natural environment includes both biotic and abiotic factors. That means there is a continuous interaction taking place between the biotic and the abiotic factors. Followed? Now students, second type of environment is the artificial environment. As the name tells artificial, it means it is the man-made environment children. The examples of artificial environment are garden, cities, towns, transport facilities, etc. Students, artificial environment is formed as a result of the human modification in the natural environment. Okay, now as you've studied earlier that the natural environment includes both biotic and abiotic factors, and there is a continuous interactions between these factors. Okay, and these interactions are very important. Why important, children? To maintain environmental balance. Followed. Now, this artificial environment is affecting the natural environment directly or indirectly. How it is affecting, children? Now you can see that the man has made transport facilities as a boon for himself. Now this has turned as to be a curse for himself now. That is, this artificial environment is affecting the natural environment. That is, the from the vehicles, the smoke that is releasing from the vehicle, it contains the high level of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide and other gases. What has happened due to this? The global warming is increasing day by day, right? And because of this global warming, what has happened to the glaciers, children? The glacier, it is melting, and due to which the water in the sea level is rising. And not only this, man in search of, or man for the sake of urbanization, he is cutting down the trees from the forest. That means deforestation is taking place. So what is the result of deforestation, children? It is affecting the wildlife. That means many animals and birds now they are in the list of endangered. That means they are considered to be about to extinct now. For example, this tiger and many types of birds. Okay, and not only this, because of this deforestation, the ecosystem is changing. There's a change in the climate, soil erosion also, and flooding also taking place, children. Now you can see recently in Maharashtra itself, you can see that earlier, like 2 or 3 years before, it used to rain heavily in the month of July and all. But now what has happened? The rain has it is decreasing day as the year passes. Why? Now, for example, I can tell you that for the sake of metro and the monorail, the lots and trees have been cut down for the building the what is that, for the rails and all. Now because of which what has happened, there is a complete change in the climate has taken place. Now you can see we can experience lots and lot of heat as compared to even winter, or in the as compared to rain, right? Now, and not only this, you can see recently you can have you must have heard that landslide has taken place, flooding has taken place in nearby states like Orissa and all, right? So it is all because of these reasons only. Okay, children? Students, let us learn about ecology. What is it? It is a science that deals with the study of interactions between biotic and abiotic factors of the environment is called as ecology. Students, last year in 9th standard you must have studied about the biogeochemical cycle. That is the natural cycles. That is the water cycle. In the early standard like 6th and 7th standard you must have studied. And biogeochemical cycle like nitrogen cycle, oxygen cycle, carbon cycle. What is the purpose of this cycle, children? These cycles, they continuously operate together. Okay, why they operate, children, continuously? So that there should be a balance in the environment. Okay, and if any one of the cycle is disturbed, what will happen? Then the entire the environmental balance will be disturbed. Okay, children? And not only this, the environmental balance is also maintained due to various food chains of the ecosystem. Followed? Now, children, our human existence, that means human existence is totally impossible without the presence of nature. Without the existence of nature, we cannot survive. Now, so it is our responsibility that we must conserve nature without disturbing its balance. Now, children, it is said that we have got this Mother Earth from our future generation on the lease basis. Okay, so it is not our ancestral property so that we can use it nicely and destroy it. Followed. So, what we have to do is we must conserve Mother Earth as well as its resources. That means we have to use these resources wisely for ourselves and also for our future generations. Okay, children, I hope this is understood to you people. And one more thing, children, I have given an assignment. Go through the question, solve the assignment in a neat and good handwriting in your classwork. Okay, thank you.